تذكر يوما كنت تعانق دمعا.
When you put your head on the floor 5 times a day, you're talking to your Lord. He can sustain you. He does sustain you, and He continues to sustain you. He'll clear all your affairs. He knows all your affairs, all public and private. He knows everything about you. You realize you're talking to Him. It's a private conversation, and He calls you 5 times a day. When you realize that you can have that no matter where you are in the world, it's a beautiful feeling to have. And when you realize that, there's no worldly substitute, no money. No one could buy my deen. No one could do it. You put £1 billion in front of me, it'd be very enticing. You'd be like, no, but you can't buy what's in the heart. You can't. SubhanAllah, you can't.
Here's a dua to say when you're admiring your selfie or looking in the mirror. Allahumma anta hassanta khalqi fahassin khuluqi. What I love about this dua is not only are you acknowledging that you are beautiful, but you're also asking Allah to make you beautiful from the inside as well.
I've heard so much it drives me crazy. I just don't want her to leave me.
It's a full-time job, and it's extremely time-consuming, and it's not as easy as it may appear to some.
كن سعيدا كن فريدا عش بفخر في الحياة لا تبالي فالمعاني.
I do not have time for this. I do not have time for you.
This heat has made me realise I really need to get my act together, because I won't be able to cope in hell.
نزعت أسرار قلبي وجئت. What happened to us? We used to be best friends.
You can never lose with dua. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, says that when a believer makes dua, there are 3 possible outcomes. Number 1, their dua is answered. Number 2, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will store the dua and reward him for it in the hereafter. Number 3, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala would divert an equivalent evil from that person's life. When the people heard Prophet Muhammad say this, their response was, we will make more dua. And Prophet Muhammad's response was, Allah is bounty.
Ew, this is so cringe. Guilty.
وترجو رحمة تسري فعاش القلب إخلاصا وصرت تحوم كالطير تحلق في
يطوى زمان بائس شحيح
Let us now look at the linguistic of the word Allah. It in itself is the beauty of Islam. Because the word in Arabic doesn't mean God. Just in case you thought it did, it doesn't. Because we have a word in Arabic for the word in English, God. It's called Ilah. Ilah, God. God, Ilah. That's the word. Why is it important to have this particular word, and why don't we have it in English? The word Allah in the Arabic language cannot be made plural. There can't be more than one. Okay, that perfectly fits the unique God of the believers, because there's not more than one. He's only one. There's no God beside God. Second point is this: it can't be made female or male. There's no gender to the word. In the English language, they only have one word: God. Little G-O-D. It means something worshipped. It could be idols, images, pictures, statues. It could be human beings. It could be anything. This is God's. Little G-O-D-S. But when you mean the God, you have to capitalize the G. You have to make a big G. Now, what happens if you're going to start the sentence with the word God? You have to make a big G anyway, don't you? So you wouldn't know if it was God, big God, or God, a little God, just any old God. You wouldn't know. In Arabic, though, it's clear. When you say Ilah, okay, he's talking about a God. And when you say Allah, this firms it up. And there's no doubt in anybody's mind that you're talking about the one and only God.
Surah Al-Baqarah has 286 verses, and Baqarah means the cow, and a cow has a gestation of 280 days. Isn't that weird? Isn't that sus? What a coincidence.
If you're going to teach any of your children some social skills, let this be one of the lessons.
Teach me how to be bulletproof.
Which means teach them not to be overly sensitive.
Teach me to be strong enough to know my values, believe in myself, to not take things personally because someone tries to make me feel insecure.
Because their comment is a projection of themselves.
That's their insecurity.
Not mine.
Teach me how to be bulletproof because bullies are going to be everywhere and they can't bully me if they can't affect me because I'm in charge. I'm in charge who makes me feel what?
If they don't believe their comment, then it can't affect them.
Bullies are going to try and take you down. You can't go down. You can't go down if you don't choose to go down. Take that, bullies. I'm bulletproof.
نسيم الشوق يلهو في الحنايا وحب البذل من خير السجايا تجمل بالعطاء تعش كريما وتلقى السعد في دنيا البرايا تمثل بالكرام وكن نبيلا فهذه من كريمات المزايا ولا يشغلك ظل عن ضياء وكن جلدا إذا دنت المنايا نسيم الشوق يلهو في الحنايا وحب البذل من خير
하라고 하셨는데 제가 팁을 알려줄게요. 어떻게 한국말을 자연스럽게 하는 방법. 첫 번째, 잘 들어보세요. So while you guys are watching K-dramas, K-pop, YouTube videos and all those Korean variety shows, please listen carefully on how they say the words, and at the same time you can also scan on how they construct their sentences. 듣고 나서 잘 따라보세요. So after you listen carefully, then you might wanna copy how they say a word. Look at their mouth and look at how they pronounce it. Practice imitating on how they pronounce the words and also along their movements and style. You can also try to recording yourself speaking in Korean, and I know you might look stupid, but this works really. So once you've recorded and you watch back, play back your video, and you can see, oh, my grammar is wrong here and there, like that. And the last thing I did, I speak with a native speaker, and also I did 혼자말. 혼자말 is literally speaking to myself, speaking with yourself. So you can imagine that you're a YouTuber or a TikToker and speak to yourself. Explain everything what you do in Korean. And I think these are the steps that helps how I can achieve the natural Korean style. I hope this helps, and let me know if you have any more questions in the comments.